I'm going to stick the thermometer in at this point because I want to be able to check the temperature as I go along. We want the temperature of the mash to be quite specific, probably between 67 and 68 degrees for this ale. So this is the last of the grain and water. As I've come closer to the end of mashing in, I've been adding a little bit more water just because I know that I can get away with it, that I'm not going to overflow the mash tun. So you can see that the mash is a little bit thinner than it was at the beginning. You still want quite a thick mash, as you can see. You want to bring the bottom barley off the bottom and bring it up. You don't want spots of hot temperatures and cool temperatures. So we've stirred the mash as much as we can, and I'm looking at the temperature, and we have a temperature of 68 degrees, which is exactly what we wanted. So I'm going to take this out now, close the lid. All this should have taken you about 15 minutes. If you go over, that's okay, but try to keep it around 15 minutes. And we'll let this sit now for an hour. While we're waiting for the mash to convert, I'm going to fill 2 of these kettles up with sparge water. This one I've filled to 30 liters, this one to 55, and I'm going to bring both of them up to 80 degrees. I'm just going to check the temperature of the sparge water. Okay, it's a bit above the temperature we want, so I'm going to turn it off. We want just a little below 80 degrees, so we're going to wait for that to cool down a bit. So while we've been heating up our sparge water, the mash has been converting. And by that I mean that the enzymes within the starchy endosperm of the malt have come into action. Once they come into contact with water at the specific temperature that we put it in at, it has converted the starch into soluble sugar.